you proud of your work at Bain Capital?
Absolutely. We help create tens of thousands of jobs. I'm proud of the private sector. There's no question but that Speaker Gingrich and much more significantly the DNC and President Obama are going to put free enterprise on trial.
The recurring bane of Mitt Romney's campaign, Bain Capital. While Romney says he helped to create tens of thousands of jobs as CEO of the private equity firm, others, including some of the laid-off workers, say that's not the case. The Democratic National Committee has flown in one of those dissenters to Iowa this week, and we'll talk to him in just a moment. Full disclosure here, Bain Capital and NBC Universal are part owners of the Weather Channel. How that impacts this segment, I have no idea, but it's stuck in all of our prompters whenever Bain Capital comes up now. In 1992, Bain Capital bought American Pad and Paper, Ampad it's called, an office supplies company. By 2000, Ampad was bankrupt. Hundreds of workers had lost their jobs, and Romney and the rest of the investors were $100 million richer. For a candidate who touts his private sector experience, this history may be a tough sell for some voters, especially with the national unemployment rate at 8.6%. Layoffs at Ampad helped Senator Ted Kennedy squash Mitt Romney's 1994 senatorial campaign. Here's a 1994 anti-Romney ad featuring workers who had lost their jobs after Romney's firm bought their company.
He's cut our wages to put money back into his pocket.
You're not creating jobs, you're taking them away from us to put money in your pocket.
He just wants to take money out of your pocket, right, put it in his.
I'd like to say to the people of Massachusetts that if you think it can't happen to you, think again.
Joining me now is Randy Johnson, who lost his job at Ampad plant in Indiana after Bain Capital bought the company. He was flown into Iowa this week by the Democratic National Committee. Thanks for joining me tonight, Randy.
I'm glad to be here.
Randy, I remember that 1994 Senate campaign in Massachusetts that Romney was doing very well until Ted Kennedy started concentrating on what he had actually done as an investment banker and the way people lost their jobs. Not just the number of jobs, but the actual style of it. Could you tell your story about how you lost your job once Bain took over?
Yeah, quickly. Ampad is a subsidiary of Bain, and they bought my plant in '94. It was called an asset sale. They come in, bought the assets, and they did not have anything to do with the employees. If you wanted to work for us, you had to fill out an application. They brought in guards, walked us out of the building. It was a really bad time.
And there was the personal communication that some of you got from Mitt Romney as you were being laid off, wasn't there?
Actually, there was a letter sent to me when they decided to close the plant back then. It was kind of apologetic, but by the same token, it was on the day the plant closed, so it was a little late to help us.
Now, when you see Mitt Romney making hundreds of billions of dollars over the course of his career doing this kind of business, you can reasonably say, in effect, that his presidential campaign has been launched on the lost jobs of all those workers that were laid off in these kinds of transactions so that his company could take hundreds of millions of dollars in profit out of these deals. That's how these deals were done. This seems to me to be a very strange year for a candidate like that to be a front runner in either party, where you're basically running on the money you saved and the money you earned and put away and took home by laying people off in this economy.
Right. It was really a bad time because as they basically put us out of work, and they put the company out of business. They also sold stock in the company. They made a fortune, and we're like, why can't we have this for American workers? Why can't we have jobs? And they took the money, and what they did with it, we don't even know. I mean, that's not disclosed.
And going back to the Kennedy campaign, because I think that is one of the models that we're going to see, especially if Romney is the nominee against President Obama. That campaign, I think, very effectively framed this issue in a way that wasn't anti-capitalist. It wasn't anything that was against, the way money is made in this economy, so much as what is the responsibility to workers in this country from the employer's standpoint. Isn't that the best way to frame this discussion?
I think it is. And the fact of the matter is, what is the right thing? It is morally right. What is fundamentally right? what kind of future do we want for this country, and is that the kind of person you want leading? It's a big difference, and Kennedy framed that up very well in '94.
They'll be watching those Kennedy tapes at the Obama headquarters. Randy Johnson, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.